Hey, I'm Justin Aswell of Mr. Invisible out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the machine is my weapon of choice. I'm going to show you how to make a beat from start to finish on Maschine. It's going to be awesome. I normally start with drums just because if I'm doing a hip hop beat, that's the most important thing and it's usually the hardest. So let's do that. I'm going to go into the browser on Maschine by clicking the magnifying glass, and I have loaded in breaks of my own in Maschine in the library, and I'm going to load one in to this pad here. All right, so that's our break. Cool. Now what we're gonna do is make sure that the start and the end are both trimmed up as close as possible on the wave. So I'm gonna minimize these two windows here and click and drag up, and that's gonna make the wave get bigger. And this one's pretty close already. So we're just gonna move that a little bit on the start here, or you can drag it on the actual computer. So let's do the end, make sure that bad boy's good. It probably is. Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. So now we've got the start and end of the break right on. Now in Maschine, they call it slicing. A lot of people refer to it as chopping up the break or chopping the drums, but in Maschine they call it slicing. So just go to the slicing tab, and then it already kind of does it for you a little bit. But some of them, as the break goes on, might get a little off. See that click? So what we can do is we can go in to each piece as it's highlighted and fix it. So let's go into this one right quick and we'll zoom in. And as you can see here, there's our issue. So we're gonna take this and slide it to where that click doesn't happen. Just like that. And as you edit the start and ends of each region, it directly affects the next one. So as I took the line back on the one wave, it's actually changing the next pad also. So once you've done that to all the different pads, you're going to hit apply, and that will chop the break up into all the different pieces. And so on. Most people like to change the pattern of the drums. This is a really long break and I don't want it to loop over and over again because it'll get monotonous as it does that. Let's change the pattern a little bit to something a little bit more basic. And we can add variations later, but let's use this as our foundation. Cool, so let's record that. Maschine automatically sets a pattern up with just chronological all the way up, pads 1 all the way to 16. We'll get rid of that pattern because we don't need that. So let's record a new one. I'm gonna make it a 4-bar loop. You can click and drag that number right there, or you can also use the hardware. If you hold pattern, you can change the length right here and it'll change it on both. So let's go 4 bars, and pardon the incredibly loud metronome. All right, so we've got the drums chopped up and resequenced on pad 1 now. So let's listen to that real quick after I mute these, and this is what we've got. Just a basic break. Now we're gonna add some more drums. Make it sound a little thicker, more sonically pleasing. I've already got some drums loaded in that I think sound pretty good to the break here. So we're gonna add those to the break. One thing when you're overlapping kicks, they might phase a little bit. So if you hear anything weird, you can go into the sampler edit by hitting this wave icon, and edit. You can change the attack of the kick. So I've put the attack to around 350 so that the kicks don't flam. You know, that little sound does not sound good in your speakers. So I've also added a hi-hat, basically just recreating the break that we've chopped up with programmed drums and trying to get them to kind of sit in the mix along with the break. So this is what it sounds like. So just the break by itself with the new drums. Cool. When I did that, I actually added more stuff that I haven't recorded yet. So let's talk about that. One thing I like to do is I'll take a cowbell and I'll trim the wave down really, really, really tight and lay it over top of the snare to add more crack. That's one thing I've done. I've also added a tambourine hit to kind of spice up the pattern a little bit. And I've also taken the snare and reversed it. To do that, you can just go into the sampling edit again. And one of the options over here is reverse. So I just hit that. So before and after. So these are all our drums now with a tambourine, cowbell, reverse snare, break, and added drums. Tie. I almost started rapping. Ow. So let's go ahead and add a bass line, because what's hip hop without a bass line? I guess bass lineless hip hop. Nobody wants that. All right, I like this bass sound here. Or you can use the pads. But I like using the keyboard because it makes me look smarter. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's record it. I had a 4-bar loop. Let's change it to 2, because that's just a 2-bar loop. And hear what it sounds like. Okay, I like that. Let's go with that one. Let's add maybe some sort of key sound, synth type thing. I like this one. Sounds kind of like Clockwork Orange. Again, you can just use the pads if you want. So let's record something. Okay, that sounded pretty good. I'm going to select all of this and move it to the very beginning of the pattern so I don't have to re-record it. So I've just hit Command A, select the pattern, and I can just drag it all the way to the beginning. Sometimes when you move it, you might actually accidentally change the key you're in, so listen to it to make sure. That's right. Again, we're going to take this 4-bar loop and make it 2 bars, because that's all we really need. So we've got drums, bass, and a keyboard sample. So let's add a little bit more flair with some sort of vocal hip-hop sample, something like, I don't know, Premiere would do. But we don't have turntables, so we're just going to use a sample. I've loaded a Tribe Called Quest sample in that I had on my computer, which all of you should have on your computer, and we're going to chop it up. So I've loaded in the entire song and I have chopped out the part I want to use.
Kick the rhymes and more rhymes, kick the beats and more beats.
I'm going to use that part. From here, you can get rid of the parts you don't want to use just by clicking this drop-down menu and hitting truncate. That's Machine's way of saying you're only using the stuff you're using. All right, so let's listen to it.
Kick the rhymes and more rhymes, kick the beats and more beats.
Okay, cool. I also want to add a delay to the end of it, so I'm going to take the last little bit and chop it. To make a new pad, you just hold down the mouse and hold Option and just drag. So you see that plus sign? I've already done that for the delay one though. So I've re-chopped the very end to just say, beat some more beats, beat some more beats, beat some more beats. Let's put a delay on it. Just like that. So we've got it on pad 4 and I've put a delay on it. Cool. Now I want pad 4 to turn off pad 3 so that when the delay comes in, it turns off the sample that I just hit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the sampler heading here and put polyphony on 1 and put it to choke group 1. So now pad 4 is in choke group 1. Pad 3 is also going to be in choke group 1. So now when I hit pad 4 after pad 3, it'll turn it off. Okay, so now we've got the choke group set up. So when I hit pad 4 or pad 3, it'll turn the other one off, like this. Let's do that. Let's add that to the beat. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of EQ because I'm hearing too much of the original song. So I'm gonna go and add an EQ here and take all the bass or the low mids, I'm gonna take those out, and maybe crank up the high mids a little bit so his voice comes out a little bit. I think that sounds a little better. Let's listen to it like that now. I recorded that a little off, so I'm gonna drag it into the step and lock it in a little better. The sample's still not lining up. I'm gonna take off step correction down here on the bottom and maybe move it just a hair behind the beat and see what that sounds like. That's it. So we found a break and we chopped it up, or sliced it up. We added drums, then we wrote a bass line, then we added some synths over top of it, and to cap it all off, we put the Tribe Called Quest sample. All on Machine. All on Machine. Stay tuned for more tutorials on Dubspot from me on Machine.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself. Become a part of our community and make music.